Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wingcat Sports. We are doing our weekly Tiger review. Not much going on this week. The fact that they only played one series in Seattle, but we did win the series, losing today 2-0. But we did win the series overall, which is good to start out the second half of the year.
Yeah. I was disappointed watching the game today, hoping that they could keep it going. But, 2 out of 3 from Seattle. Seattle's always given them a little bit of a hard time, probably a better team than them. So at least they won the series. Carpenter looked great for the 2 games that we won. Man, he's hitting the ball hard. They look like, at least coming out of the gate, they're more focused. Um, we're hoping, like I said, the next few weeks are going to tell everything because they have a pretty easy schedule by Major League Baseball standards. So if they can go off on a tear here, who knows?
Yep.
That's what we've been saying the last few videos about the Tigers is that they need to go off on a run, an extended run, like a 15-5 run or something like
Yeah,
that.
they got to win majority of the games through a standpoint. Because looking at the standings, Minnesota did win today. They started coming out of the All-Star break hot as well because now they're 2 games above 500. So they might be a team that we will have to worry about, as we were already worrying about them for the division, if you feel that there's a chance. Because as we are talking about what's coming up, you are facing the Royals and the Padres this week. You have a 4-game set in Kansas City. Again, Kansas City is not the best team. There are 26 games back in the weakest division in baseball. So you should win that series at the very least. Win 3 out of the 4, if not somehow come out with the 4-game sweep.
Should. I agree. I think this Kansas City game, hopefully a sweep. It's always hard to sweep anybody, no matter how bad they are. But that's what they need to do. They need to really tear into these next 2 series and maybe lose 1 game, 1 or 2 games over the next 2 series. That's it. They need to keep it going.
Yes.
Um, and that's it's not that's what we've been saying the last few videos. Um, they're still fun to watch. They're still competitive. Um, so like it's just frustrating when you see them do what they've done and then put up nothing today, no runs, and they didn't even really threaten the whole game. So
No, they didn't. I think they had maybe 1 or 2 opportunities today. Uh, and then they're going to face the Padres, which are a few games better than them. But they're not a team that you can't beat, despite all the talent that's on that team. They're also fighting to get back above 500 and potentially go for their division, even though their division is pretty good with the surprising uh, Diamondbacks, Giants, and Dodgers in front of them. Not so much the Giants and the Dodgers, but the Diamondbacks being better this year is something that probably not too many people expected.
right, they're going to have to make a decision. Whether to be buyers or sellers at the trade deadline. Uh, as a fan, I hope that I hope they're still in it, and I hope that they buy. But the smart thing might be to sell. It's a hard decision to make. Harris is going to have to make it. Certainly, we're not really going anywhere this year. I don't think. I don't think anyone believes.
And I think it might come down to if you're winning, you might not be as much of sellers. I feel you're going to be sellers regardless, but maybe you don't give up your bullpen people at the deadline if you're doing better. Maybe regardless, Rodriguez and Lorenzen could be gone.
I'd hate to see whatever. I'd hate to see Lorenzen gone. I'd hate to see. I think our pitching has been surprisingly good,
and that's why I think that they would still be on the block because if you're off, your newer starters have done pretty good, and your bullpen's doing pretty good. So I think you have the ability to risk losing those starters,
right,
in case of a run still happening and potentially getting a bat and some prospects, depending on where your mind's at. Because if you end up going through the rest of the month and you ended up winning even 15 of the games this month, I don't think there's even that much remaining, but 10. We'll go with, let's say you win 10 games this month, so you would go 10-6 the rest of the month. You would get yourself in a much better record by winning 10 games. You're 51-57.
Right. So, what it would take for them to get back in the playoff picture would be an unbelievable run. Like I said, 15, maybe 20-5.
It would
They
have
need
to
to
be
go.
August. August would have to be your month where
And
you
that's going to be a
show
tough
up
month.
and play. And the problem with and that is you're going to be your test, because the problem with August is you're facing Tampa, Minnesota, Boston, Cleveland. The Cubs are your only easy series, because then you face the Astros and the Yankees. That's August.
Right.
That is probably your toughest month. And if you could come out of August winning games more often than losing them, you're going to be a better team coming out of that month and having that last stretch be something potentially in September and going for the division. Do I think it's possible? Yes. Will it probably happen? No. So that's where that will come at. But I mean, everyone playing better, right? Carpenter starting the second half hot with 3 home runs in the series.
They're fun. I mean, I guess other people would question that, but for what we've had to watch over the last few years, this team is actually fun to watch, and that's at this point that's all you can really hope for.
Yeah, I mean, actually having something to go for and having the ability to make the playoffs. Yes, it might be getting swept in the first round of whatever series we're in, wild card.
What we're going for here is, do we have a chance to win the division? Is Minnesota going to go on a tear? And then, because if they do, they're going to put us out. We got to hope Minnesota and Cleveland continue to be very average. If either one of them gets going, I don't think we have a chance, and we don't have any chance.
Minnesota, I believe, looks like it has an easier month of August than we do. So it's going to be keeping up with Minnesota. But when it looking later in the year, they might not have an easy end to the season.
We got to catch up to them first. But are we capable of doing that? The next
you have to play
2 series are, I think, make or break this season. The next 2 series, if they come out of it with, winning maybe 1 loss, then I'm going to be excited. They're going to be right there.
Yeah.
But that's what they need to do. And it's hard to do for a team that's lacking talent like the Tigers, that they can't be consistent. But their bats are getting better. Their pitching is okay. It's just tough. It's tough to come back from being 10 games under 500.
Yeah, it's not going. I don't think it's going to be easy for them, but it's, like I said, it's doable. It's not impossible. It will be a fun potential last couple months of the season until football starts and hockey starts, and actually getting us there with a little bit of excitement, which is good. With that being said, though, right? If you like what you see, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, share the video, and until next time, hope to see everybody soon.